The Snowden case is likely to affect relations between the U.S. and Russia. And to discuss that, I'm joined by Ivan Eland, director of the Center on Peace and Liberty. Mr. Eland, welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
You know, the U.S. says that it doesn't want Snowden to affect its larger bilateral relationship with Russia. But what happens now? Will the U.S. pull out of these upcoming talks and this upcoming G20 summit?
Well, it's hard to say. They're kind of orienting toward doing that because I think they have to register their displeasure. I think it's all for show now. I mean, actually, this may be the best thing to happen to the U.S. because all the secrets are already gone. They just don't, U.S. doesn't want to be embarrassed. And I think maybe even they cut a backroom deal with Putin to say, you know, we don't want this guy saying anything. And Putin has said he can stay there as long as he doesn't embarrass the U.S. So perhaps they have some deal. Maybe that's just there's no deal, but Putin just knows what's really going on. I think, you know, the United States, as I say, the secrets are already gone. It's just they have to pretend that they're, you know, mad about this, really.
So for his part, Snowden pretty much needs to lie low, not leak any more secrets, pretty much abide to the requirements that Russia has set forth in order for him to stay in the country, right? I mean, do you think that Russia will intend or allow him to stay there indefinitely?
Well, that's a mystery. I mean, he could go to Latin America, but of course it's much easier for the U.S. with the Monroe Doctrine or whatever to intimidate or even just grab him in Latin America, whereas you better not grab somebody on a superpower with that many nuclear weapons. Or, you know, Russia still has a lot of nuclear weapons, and that makes you a nuclear superpower at least. And so he's safer in Russia. But on the other hand, Russia, after a year or so, could say, well, what is this guy doing for us? He's, you know, relations are still not that good with the U.S. You know, maybe we could give him up or, you know, arrange for him, the U.S. to get him in some way. So I think if I were Snowden, I'd still be a little careful about, you know, what I was doing. And I don't think he's still out of the woods. But this is certainly a good development for him to get a year asylum because he wasn't planning on that, getting it that quick.
Could the U.S. and Russia carry on with business as usual with this Snowden issue between them? Do you think it will dominate these upcoming talks, the G20?
Well, it may affect the G20 talks, but I don't think it'll affect the long-term relationship. Both countries have made it very clear that it won't. And I think, you know, this is sort of a surface phenomenon now. The damage has been done to the U.S. Intelligence apparatus. And I think they would like to get Snowden, they would like to prosecute him. But if he lays low and he doesn't become an eyesore, Obama may be able to say, I can't get him, but, you know, he's not hurting us anymore.
Right. Because it did seem we heard some other pieces of information coming out as of late, just before he left the airport with that Keystone revelation, Key Score revelation. Do you think Snowden will adhere to the requirements that Russia has given him to stay there, or do you think we will hear more from him?
Well, I think you may hear from him, and I think his lawyer alluded to that. But I think it more be of a, you know, vociferous defense of what he did rather than leaking more. He claimed that latest leak that came out right when he got released, that, you know, that was from before. We'll see. I mean, maybe he'll continue to leak. If he does, then, of course, that will damage Putin, and so we'll see what Putin does at that point. But they said that leak was, you know, in the works before he ever got his asylum. So I don't know. We'll have to see if that's true or not.
All right, Ivan Eland, we appreciate your time and your insight as always. Thank you so much for your perspective.
Thank you.